The Continental Classic is very close to coming to an end, at least the first phase of it. We're about to get into the final rounds, and eventually we'll get the finals of the actual Continental Classic for that brand new championship belt at World's End, December 30th at the Nassau Coliseum. But Swerve Strickland is a man who, in my humble opinion, was made at Full Gear when he beat the living crap out of Hangman Adam Page, got away with it, and ended up winning that match. Match of the night, moment of the night. Swerve Strickland is a made man after that. There's nothing you could say that can deny that. But here's the thing. Here's a recurring issue with how AEW handles these things. AEW lacks creative, AEW lacks storytelling, AEW lacks direction. And we've seen it multiple times in the past. You got Wardlow for the third time in his very short run with AEW. He's returned to the company, and all he's doing is power bombing people like he did in the past. No character progression, nothing at all. Look at what they were doing with Andrade. Andrade, one of the best pure wrestlers on that roster. They've done absolutely nothing with him since they've hired him. Look what they did with Danny Garcia. He was on fire during that storyline with Chris Jericho when it comes to pro wrestler and sports entertainer. But that story was 2 years ago. They did not capitalize on that. They did not capitalize after. And Danny Garcia has failed to get himself over to the point where he actually means something. And now we have the unfortunate case of a Swerve Strickland, who, by the way, is killing it in his Continental Classic, who, by the way, should win this entire tournament. I believe he faces off against Rush, or Roosh, whatever you want to call him, tonight on Wednesday Night Dynamite live on TBS. Looking forward to that match. He should be winning that match, and like I said at the beginning of this video, Swerve Strickland should win this whole thing, and eventually in 2024 he should be targeting the world's heavyweight champion. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they turn him babyface in 2024 and have his Mogul Embassy turn on him and give him that babyface up and coming, fight against all odds, his own group, storytelling tool to try to get him even more over. The point of the matter is they need something that the audience, that the casual viewer, that the mainstream viewer can sink their teeth into and really get behind Swerve Strickland. Because putting him in matches, singles matches every single week, having him perform every single week, hey, he's a great wrestler. There's no denying that. But he's also a great entertainer. He's also fantastic on the microphone. He's proved that in the past. He's taken some very long shots at Hangman Adam Page in the past. That worked. We need to get back to that. And again, we've seen this in the past. Ricky Starks himself, he's currently the World Tag Team Champion, but before that, they did not know what to do with him. The talent of a Ricky Starks was not being used. The same is happening here with Swerve Strickland, but they can fix it so very soon if they have him win this whole thing, Continental Classic, and start targeting the AEW World Champion, the Triple B MJF, who is the current babyface in the company. So hell, start the feud off, MJF versus Swerve Strickland. Hell, have Swerve Strickland dethrone MJF and become the brand new AEW World's Heavyweight Champion. And it's not because he'd be the first Black World Champion. I don't care about that. That's an excuse. Alright? You put in the work. You get over with the crowd, and he's over with the crowd. He's entertaining as hell. Those are enough reasons for him to be at the top of the mountain. So, if you're going to have MJF lose that title at some point in time, Swerve Strickland is a perfect guy. But the fact of the matter is, what they're doing with him is not enough as of this moment. Because he's still over with the crowd. The crowd is supporting him. They were chanting his name, I believe, in his match against Jon Moxley. Everything about him, he's over with the crowd. Give him a story. Give him a direction. Let the fans invest in him. Give us a reason to care about Swerve Strickland other than the fact that he's a great wrestler. We know that already. And the fact that they're having Keith Lee still target Swerve Strickland, that's not enough. That's not interesting. That's not what the fans want. They don't want to see Keith Lee versus Swerve Strickland. We've gotten past that. We've seen that already. We do not need to go back to that. The only one that benefits from that story is Keith Lee. And right now, you don't need Keith Lee over. You need Swerve Strickland on a rocket. That's what you need. So hopefully, AEW Creative gets their stuff together and give this man his due. Give this man a proper story and properly get him to the top. Otherwise, he'll be another Ricky Starks. Otherwise, he'll be another Danny Garcia. Otherwise, he'll be another Wardlow or Andrade or Keith Lee himself when he debuted. They did nothing with him after that. Again, we go back to the same issues with AEW. They lack compelling stories for most of their program. With a few exceptions, of course, MJF and his Devil storyline. There's very few exceptions, but overall, AEW is a pro wrestling, sports-based driven show. And that only attracts a certain amount of cliched viewers. That's simple. You want to grow your business, you gotta really try to attract the most that you possibly can. And to do that, I'm sorry, you need stories, you need character progression, you need drama, you need all of that. And again, stop dropping the ball on stars like Swerve Strickland who are getting hot. Get him to the point where he could possibly reach the pinnacle of the mountain and capitalize on it. Make money off of it. That damn simple. So with that said, what are your thoughts? Do you think Swerve Strickland is going to win this whole thing? Do you think he should challenge for the world title? Possibly beat MJF for the world title in 2024? Or it might be Samoa Joe. I don't know. Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. In the meantime, tune in later on tonight to TBS for another episode of Wednesday Night Dynamite Live. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.